the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Coming up on the news at noon, it looks calm and cloudy right now at the U.S. Capitol, but don't be fooled. It's likely not going to last. Winds are incoming and they could be strong. A look at your forecast is coming up. But first, a former president indicted, the latest on a historic legal fight making waves across the nation. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Ben Dennis at the desk in for Mark Hall. Let's get right to your weather. Meteorologist Damon Matson joins us for the latest check on your forecast. Damon, we're talking wind and a little bit of warmth out there this weekend.
That's right, Ben. A lot coming our way from Mother Nature, most notably that wind. And it's all from one storm system that is starting to gain a lot of strength here this afternoon. Not over the DMV, though. It's back across the center of the country. What you're looking at here is the severe outlook right along the Mississippi River Valley there. All of this red that you're seeing from Iowa all the way down into northern Mississippi, that is a level 4 out of 5 risk for severe storms, with 5 being the highest risk you can go. And we're likely to see very strong winds, hail, and likely some very strong tornadoes across this large swath of the country right here. We don't usually see these massive type of severe outlooks unless it is a very potent storm system. So they're going to be dealing with that threat throughout the day today. We won't start to see the impacts from the system until tomorrow. No, we're not dealing with severe weather here, but we are talking about the winds being a problem. We have a high wind watch now that goes from western Maryland all the way across the DMV into D.C. and right along the Chesapeake Bay there. That takes effect tomorrow morning. It goes until Sunday morning with the threat of 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts now looking pretty likely at this point as we get into that first day of the weekend. That is enough to knock down power lines and trees very easily, causing some damage. Now, currently the wind speeds aren't all that bad. They're out of the south at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. So you're going to notice it slowly starting to get breezier throughout the day as this storm system is very clearly knocking on the door already. A lot of rain back across portions of Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. We do stay dry for most of the afternoon as temperatures spike up into the upper 60s and low 70s. But by this evening, folks, we will be talking about some rain showers, making things soggy as you begin your Friday nights. But how long does the rain stick around, and when are we likely to see the peak of those very strong winds? We'll have your full forecast in just a bit.
Damon, thank you for those weather headlines. Appreciate it. The world is watching Manhattan as former President Donald Trump's future hangs in the balance. Yesterday, a grand jury in New York voted to indict Trump in that hush money case dating back to the 2016 election. Our Randy Bass reports from the newsroom on what's to come for the 45th president.
The former president could surrender to authorities as early as next Tuesday. This all confirmed in a statement from his legal team. His legal team also confirming that the former president was initially asked to turn himself in today, but asked for more time to coordinate with the Secret Service and make additional security preparations. The former president also overnight being super active on his Truth Social platform, putting out a statement saying, in part, this is political persecution and election interference at the highest level in history. Again, calling this investigation a witch hunt, saying it'll end up backfiring on Democrats and not on him. That indictment, though, is still sealed, so the exact charges and findings are not clear at this point. It's also not clear how much prison time, if any, prosecutors will be seeking in the case. We talked with Dr. Casey Burgett from the George Washington University Legislative Affairs Program. He explains what we could see happen in the coming days and weeks.
He will have to do the normal processing of anyone else that's getting arrested. He'll have fingerprints, he'll have a mugshot. Now, whether we're going to see those publicly, if they're ever released, that's yet to be determined. But once he's in the courthouse, or at least in the processing room, he's just like anybody else.
As for the prosecutors you see here in this video, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg leaving his office yesterday without making any kind of statement to reporters outside. At this point, there are still more investigations ongoing into the former president, into both his efforts to overturn the 2020 election and his keeping of classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. Be sure to stick with us. We'll bring you more details as we get them.
Our thanks to Randy for that report. Anticipation and uncertainty ahead for a busy and politically tumultuous week in New York And here in the district, News Nation sat down with President Trump's spokesperson Liz Harrington on how the former president's camp is pushing back. Take a listen.
What is the message to Trump supporters who are upset by this word, even though we don't know what's in the indictment yet? What does the former president want to see on the streets of America, if anything?
Well, absolutely. He wants peace, and he wants everyone to realize what's happening to our country, which is very, very sad. I mean, this marks a day, Chris, where we're no longer a constitutional republic. We're now a banana republic that is not under the rule of law. We're under the rule of men, very corrupt men, a very corrupt political class that throws the law out the window and targets political opponents to take them out of a presidential race. That is the goal here, but it's not going to work. And what all of our supporters need to know, and I know they know already, is they're coming after President Trump so hard because he's standing in the way of you. He is standing in the way of this corruption that is trying to destroy this country, and we're not going to let it happen. We are more resilient now. We have more resolve, and we have to save our country, because if it continues down this dark path, it will never recover.
And ahead at 12:30, a closer look at the Trump indictment in more detail. We're checking in with our sister station, WPIX, in New York. And developing now, Montgomery County Fire responded to a vehicle fire on the inter-county connector near New Hampshire Avenue in Silver Spring, Maryland. We are working to confirm if there are any injuries. What started the fire remains under investigation. And take a look at this video. Montgomery County police say it shows an attempted carjacking gone wrong at a gas station on Frederick Road in Gaithersburg. It happened last weekend. Police say two teens, 16 and 17 years old, pulled the driver out of his car and demanded the keys before getting in. Authorities say the suspects eventually got out because they were not able to drive a stick shift. Both teens were caught and taken into custody later that night. And developing now, another violent evening in the district. 3 shootings within 3 hours across Northeast and Southeast. One of them inside of the Potomac Avenue Metro station, where, you'll remember, almost 2 months ago, a Metro employee was shot and killed. DC News Now's Lex Juarez reports from that Metro stop with the latest on these investigations.
Well, the shooting happened around 7 o'clock, which we know is a busy time for commuters, and it had Metro Rail on hold for several hours. Metro Transit police haven't reported any injuries or victims in the shooting. Our camera crews were able to get down in the platform and capture video of the aftermath, a bullet hole in the window of a train car parked at the platform. And residents in the area say they're tired of the frequent shootings and investigations. They say this is what they want to see more of: police presence in the neighborhood.
I think that if we have more police here, more transit, if they see the lights, it kind of deters people.
2 more shootings happened in Northeast D.C. about 2.5 hours later. The first on Kenilworth Avenue near 295, a shooting that escalated into a car crash. 2 men were shot in that incident, and both were taken to a local hospital for treatment. The third shooting happened around 9:45 on Kearney Street Northeast. 1 man was found shot, and the homicide unit was requested to respond. The investigations into these shootings are ongoing. Stay with DC News Now for the latest information. In Washington, I'm Lex Juarez, DC News Now.
Yes, I hear another shot.
You did?
I'm hearing more shots.
Okay.
We're upstairs by the art room hallway.
You're upstairs by what hallway?
In the art room.
Art room.
Yes, please hurry. I'm hearing you.
They're coming. They're coming.
Some scary and ominous sounds there. New details at noon on the Nashville Elementary School shooting. Officials now releasing 911 calls from that fateful day. The audio details multiple calls for help were made from inside and outside of the school.
There's approximately 600 students still left inside the building.
He's shooting through windows.
He's on the outside of the building.
They're going down the halls.
He's going down the hall shooting. There's glass in the doors.
Yes.
He's shooting through the glass in the doors.
Tough to hear. 6 people, including 3 children, were killed. At this time, officials say they have not determined the shooter's motive, and authorities do not believe the former student was targeting anyone specifically. And funeral services are set for the 6 people killed Monday in that Nashville school shooting. Guests are invited to wear pink at 9-year-old Evelyn's funeral. The obituary says the joyful colors will tribute to her light and love of color. Services for Hallie Scruggs will be held at the Covenant Presbyterian Church next to that school. Her father is the lead pastor there. Also developing now, the woman who barricaded herself in her car for 34 hours in Northern Virginia was in court today. Brittany Copeland has a preliminary hearing scheduled for May 31st. Police negotiated with Copeland from Tuesday morning into late Wednesday night. She had remained barricaded inside her car, armed with a handgun, on Richmond Highway. And on Tuesday, another woman, Lauren Kingsbury, told law enforcement that Copeland had abducted her. Kingsbury was safely reunited with family. Investigators are still looking into the matter. And Copeland is facing several charges in both Laurel and Fairfax County. Turning to the Nats, it's a tough start to the season for the Nationals. The team lost their season opener to the Atlanta Braves 7-2. Tough one there. The Nationals have 2 more chances to pull out a win against Atlanta this opening weekend. Josiah Gray takes the mound in Game 2 just tomorrow after 1:30.